Hey everybody, it's time for another Blu-ray haul. It's the end of June, so I am really vastly catching up on my 100 Years of Movies series. I've been really watching a lot of movies from 1950s to 1961, so like 1951 to 1961, that's what I've been watching. In fact, there's actually two things I'm going to show you that are a part of those, and these are two movies that I've seen for the first time finally. With that being said, I want to show you just a couple of other things that I've picked up recently. I've been working a lot more, and so I haven't really had a chance to buy too much, but I've also been trying to save up a little bit, so I'm not spending too much, but I got quite a few things. So yesterday was Tuesday, and so I went to Best Buy because I just wanted one thing, and I actually found it. So that was The Endless, and I'm really looking forward to this movie. I guess it's the directors of Spring, which I've never seen, but a couple of my friends have talked about that movie. But Moorhead and Benson, I guess. But this is like a sci-fi kind of like cult movie. Like it's like there's a cult out in the desert or something. I remember watching the trailer for this and not really knowing too much about it, but a friend of mine, another one who didn't mention Spring, really wanted to see it, and he said it was good when he saw it. So he told me that, and it's like, okay, I'll definitely check it out. So The Endless, I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. Next is a movie from 1987. One of the few movies I haven't seen of that year because there's so many good ones. I really want to see Wings of Desire. Still haven't seen that one. Oh well, we'll get there. But I got Adventures in Babysitting that looks like just one of those really cool covers from like the late 80s and early 90s. Kind of like, it looks like one of those book covers from like the Hardy Boys, or like maybe like a Goosebumps book. Like it just, I like that cover quite a bit. It's very nostalgic for like my childhood era. But this looks like just a movie that I really don't know anything about it besides the fact that I guess she's babysitting these kids. Her friend gets called and in Chicago, and then they pretty much travel up there. It looks like it's a one-night kind of a thing, and it's going to be fun, I'm sure. Next is a movie called The Insider, which has been on my list for quite some time. This has been on my like Blu-ray Amazon wish list for like 2 years. I've just never run into a copy of this movie. I've always found Inside Man, The Inside Man, or something related to that, but I've never found The Insider with Al Pacino, Russell Crowe, and also Christopher Plummer too is in this movie. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I guess it's about a tobacco company, like a whistleblower. So, but I mean, it's nominated for 7 awards back in '99. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this movie. It's been on my list for quite some time. I'm happy I finally have it. Alright, so going back to what I was saying near the the very beginning of this entire video, there's a couple movies I have not seen during the 1951-1961 period. One of them being Singing in the Rain. I have not seen this movie because I'm not the biggest musical fan, but I finally watched this movie, and the only part that I really enjoyed was actually this entire business of Singing in the Rain. And then the policeman at the very end just kind of like looking at this guy like, what are you doing? But I really liked parts of this movie. I really liked elements of this movie. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of this movie. I liked it quite a bit. I think Sound of Music is way better than this movie, but yeah, I'm just not really huge into musicals. It just seemed like a kind of stereotypical musical. I need to see West Side Story again. I haven't seen that since I was a lot younger, but I was not really the biggest fan of those. But anyway, Singing in the Rain, I'm finally glad I got that off my list. If you like musicals, I'm sorry that I don't as much, but I got this movie. I'm finally happy to see Gene Kelly and Deborah Reynolds, yeah, in action. The next movie is a movie from Italy, Dario Argento, which I have not seen yet, and that is Suspiria. This movie's getting a remake soon, so, yeah, like a reboot, remake. I don't know who's directing it, but I'm looking forward to it because I still have not seen this movie. And this movie I heard is really freaking crazy, and just cerebral and atmospheric horror and Italian horror. So I'm like, but I'm not really immersed in this culture, so I really don't know what to expect. So I'm really looking forward to Suspiria. I'll watch this one night that I feel comfortable doing it. Next is a movie that I was actually following a channel, and they mentioned this movie, and I'm like, I've never heard of this movie, and that is Sorcerer. And so Sorcerer, William Friedkin, I guess the back of it really reminds me of Wages of Fear, which I watched during this entire month. I watched one of those 50s movies, you know. And Sorcerer, I guess, is just South American jungle. There's these people trying to pretty much transport some dangerous explosives. I heard this movie's freaking crazy and like really psychological, and that's something that I really want to watch based on that. So if you've seen Sorcerer, let me know. I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie. It's from 1977, I want to say. Yeah, so from 1977. I'm really looking forward to this movie. It's going to be a crazy ride. Alright, next is another movie, the other one besides Singing in the Rain, that I finally saw during the 1951-1961. And this movie I've been waiting to see forever. And that is Paths of Glory. This is Stanley Kubrick. This is one of his first films. I guess it's like his fourth, maybe? I'm really blanking on the number. But I really love this movie. Kirk Douglas plays this amazing general, or not general, he's like a lieutenant, who is pretty much defending this company that was sent in a suicide mission, and the company pretty much, the ones that survived. And so the generals, two generals, are pretty much conspiring against that company and saying they were cowards, and then they were going to be tried for murder, and so they have to execute several of the prisoners, so he's defending them. And so this is a really strong anti-war film. It reminded me at the very beginning, at least a lot of it, like All Quiet on the Western Front, and I really liked elements of this movie. This is one of the most powerful movies I've seen from Kubrick, honestly, and that's what's so surprising is how early on it was in his career. So I'm really excited to talk about Paths of Glory a little bit later. Alright, so next, we're moving from World War I, which what Paths of Glory was about, to World War II, which is a much darker subject, and I had recently seen Judgment at Nuremberg, and that made me think about a specific movie that I have not seen or got yet, and that is Shoah. And this movie is going to probably take me a long time to watch. I need to be in the right mood. This is probably one of the most powerful documentaries on the Nazis and the Jewish people that had to suffer at the hands of the Nazis during World War II, because it's 9 hours plus, so it's going to be a long one. And I heard so many good things about this, being the fact that it's just iconic in the way it portrays all of the things that go down. I mean, it's probably one of the best, it's like up there with Schindler's List, but I think it's better than Schindler's List is what I've heard. So I'm really looking forward to Shoah. I'm going to have to be in the right mindset to watch that movie. So yeah, these are the movies I got recently. A lot of them are pretty awesome classics, and some of them are some just fun movies. So I'm really looking forward to watching all those movies. Thank you so much for checking out this little video. Probably ranted on a little too much, but I want to hear your thoughts on some of the picks that I got down below. Did you get any of these movies? Have you seen any of these movies? I'm really looking forward to talking about several of them in my next video. So thank you so much for checking this video out. Give me a like, comment down below. Don't forget to share this video and also subscribe. And I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.